Hello, my name is Jennifer and I'm in Penn Foster's Veterinary Technician program. Today I will be working on skill number 10, which is removing a small patient from a middle or upper cage. This is Benny. He's going to help me today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in close to my cage, have my hand down here with my leash ready to loop around the patient's neck. I'm going to come in here, move my hand in first, get a hold of his collar so that he doesn't try to come out before I come in. Move my body as close to him as I can. I'm going to apply the leash like this. I'm going to put my right hand at his chest. My left hand is going to come around the patient and go under his sternum. I'm going to lift him out. And that is how you remove a patient from the middle cage. I'm going to be lifting our medium to large sized patient up onto a table using proper restraint and lifting techniques. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come onto the left side of the patient. Come here. I'm going to bend my knees so that I don't strain my back. I'm going to put my right arm underneath the abdomen and my left arm around his head. I'm going to lift with my legs and put the patient on the table. And that's how you lift a patient onto a table. For lateral recumbency, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to grab her back leg. And this arm over, I'm going to grab her front leg. I'm going to roll her down. And I'm going to keep my elbow right on her neck. This is going to make sure that she doesn't jump up and bite anybody. I also have my left hand on her back leg. I'm going to hold it up as high as I can towards her knee. That's going to limit the mobility she can have so she can't stand up on her own. And that's my lateral recumbency. I have my length of gauze here. Usually 1 arm and a half length is what you should pull. Next thing I'm going to do is find the middle, and I'm going to take both ends and just do a single tie like this. I'm going to pull the loop out so that it's bigger. Next thing I'm going to do is approach the patient to apply the gauze muzzle. So right like that. I'm going to pull it tight and then I'm going to tie it around the back of her head. And it's on securely, making sure that it's on the muzzle, under and behind the ears. You don't want it to come across here. You want it to go below the ears, and then this will allow you to put an actual muzzle on over it in case you have to do that. And that is how you apply a gauze muzzle. I'm going to grab the nylon muzzle. You have the longest part on the bottom that goes under the chin, and this little strap just goes above the nose. What I do is I come here, I'll put one side on, and I'll just slowly advance the muzzle over the patient's face so I don't overwhelm them. Next thing you do is you clip it and you tighten it as much as you can. You don't want any room to play usually in between a muzzle, because that's what keeps you from being bit by the patient. And yeah, that's how you apply a nylon muzzle. So when selecting an Elizabethan collar, you need to make sure that it's the appropriate size. The way I usually measure to fit a collar is I'll grab the size I think is appropriate. I'll put it around the patient's head, and she's gonna slip out of it. Come here, sweet girl. Hang on, can you sit? Good girl. You always want to make sure that the cone goes past the patient's nose. So when their face is in this region, you don't want their nose to go past this point. So that means they can reach their incision or hot spot or whatever you're trying to keep them from licking at. So I'm going to take this cone, flip it over her head. I'm going to make it the appropriate tightness. So you generally want to be able to only put 2 fingers underneath where the collar would be, and this particular one's just a snap, so I'm just going to snap it around her neck. Some cones you have to tie, some cones there's other kinds of plastic slips that are on it, but now I've applied this cone. I'm making sure that 2 fingers can slip under, it's not too tight, not obstructing her breathing. I've also made sure that her nose doesn't go past this point. And that's how you apply an Elizabethan collar. And today I will be applying a catch pull on our patient. As you can tell, our patient is very aggressive today, and I can't get near her, and so I must use other means. So I've got gathered my catch pole here. I looped it according to how this one works. This one, you just, this is it undone. And then you pull the loose rope through this, down and over the hard part of the stick. After you do that, you can come to your patient. You're just gonna slip over the head and pull. And now I have good restraint of my patient. She can't get near me if I don't want her to, but if I want her closer, I can pull her closer, and I have full control of her at this moment.